Right, shifting our focus now, diary entries are a private space where one shares their most unfiltered, transparent, innermost thoughts. But that may not be applicable when you're a high-profile health official in the United States. And that is exactly what happened with Anthony Fauci. In a Senate hearing where many questions were asked, but no answers were given. Yet, the hearing was a revealing one.
That's very true. Republican Senator Randy Paul put Fauci's diary entries from over 6 years ago into the public spotlight. This unfolded during the now retired health official's Senate hearing. Randy released over 1,000 pages from Fauci's COVID pandemic era entries. The details are endless and also includes mentions of sitting President Donald Trump. Anthony Fauci had played a critical role in how U.S. handles the COVID-19 pandemic. His remarks on Trump begin positively in the diary, but eventually mention the president's, quote, rambling and growing tensions due to differing views during the pandemic. Trump, on his part, said he watched the whole hearing.
Well, I watched the whole thing today, but more importantly, I was a part of the whole Fauci. I inherited Fauci. He was here from the 1980s, so I had him for a period of time. And I disagreed with him on a lot. I would have had to close down the whole country if I listened to him.
But what the U.S. president and many others would have witnessed is a story in itself. Anthony Fauci refused to answer any of the questions that were asked by the committee. He pleaded the fifth, which is his right to remain silent 100 times.
Under the advice of my attorneys, I will invoke my right under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution to refrain from answering your questions. Thank you.
Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
In fact, even simple questions demanding an apology or about the color of his tie, Fauci continued to plead the fifth.
6 years later, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution. I respectfully decline to answer the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Remember, for years now, Anthony Fauci has faced serious accusations of trying to push a certain kind of narrative about the origins of the coronavirus. Fauci has claimed that the virus originated naturally. The statement had gathered momentum across health experts and officials to sideline the lab leak theory.
I decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
President Trump says that he watched every minute of Dr. Anthony Fauci's Senate testimony, where the former White House COVID advisor repeatedly invoked the Fifth Amendment and declined to answer questions about the pandemic response and the origins of COVID-19. The hearing came after Senator Rand Paul released more than 1,000 pages of Fauci's private pandemic journals, revealing his growing frustration with President Donald Trump, who he described as rambling and a true embarrassment, while also documenting internal debate over the virus's origin. Republicans argue the diaries raises new questions about transparency and accountability, while Fauci maintains that he acted appropriately throughout the pandemic. Next week, the Senate is expected to consider whether to move forward with contempt proceedings against Fauci, keeping one of America's most divisive pandemic battles firmly in the spotlight. Susan Tarhwani reporting from New York for WION World is One.
So that, remember, has been what has been happening at the Senate hearing of Dr. Anthony Fauci. He has invoked the fifth, and that is, of course, 100 times. Quite shocking, but he had quite a heated debate with the senators there during his hearing, and now his diary entries have been made public.